Hello and welcome to Audible. My name is Rahul Unikrishan. Today we are going to learn more about robot framework. Okay, so we are going to understand what is robot framework, what is the use of robot framework, okay, and how you can configure and set up robot framework in your machine, and what are the dependency for setting up the robot framework in your computer. Okay, so we are going to cover all these steps step by step, and it will be easy to understand for you and easily set up the robot framework. Okay, so let's start. So first, let us understand what is robot framework. Right? So robot framework is a generic open source automation framework. It can be used for test automation and robotic process automation. Okay, so this is an open source automation framework. So as we all know, like there are variety of test automation frameworks available, right? So like a Cucumber, TestNG, or Cypress, like that, different types of frameworks are available. So robot framework is also a framework that can be used for test automation as well as for robotic process automation. Okay, and one important thing is this framework is totally based on and built on Python. Okay, and robot framework is supported by Robot Framework Foundation. Many industry leading companies use the tool in their software development. Okay, and so this particular framework is supported by Robot Framework Foundation, and it is an open source automation framework. And if we want to modify something in this framework, we can do that as it's an open source framework. Okay, and robot framework is open and extensible. Robot framework can be integrated with virtually any other tool to create a powerful and flexible automation solution. So as I mentioned, this robot framework is built on Python, and there are a huge list of packages that are available to integrate with this robot framework. Okay, to enhance the capability of robot framework, we can integrate other external tools as well and other packages as well to create a more powerful automation suite using robot framework. Okay, so robot framework has a easy syntax utilizing human readable keyword. So this is very important because if you are creating an automation suite or a test case for a person who doesn't have much programming language, it will be very difficult to understand what we have written in that test case, right? So this robot framework will help to resolve that issue because it has some proper syntax that is purely based on English, and we can easily understand what the test case mean and what is the functionality of that particular test case. Okay, so that is very purely human readable keywords. And robot framework capability can be extended by libraries implemented with Python, Java, or many other programming languages. So as I mentioned, like a robot framework can be integrated with many other libraries that can be written in either Python, Java, or any other programming languages. It supports the keyword-driven, behavior-driven, and data-driven style of writing test cases. Okay, so this is again one important point because this automation framework, like robot framework, is supporting all the test strategies like keyword-driven, behavior-driven, and data-driven style of writing test cases. And if you want to learn more about this robot framework, I would suggest you go to this particular portal. Okay, and you can understand what is this robot framework and what are the companies who are using this portal, this framework and all. Okay, so I'll be going to this portal and I will show you what are the other useful things that you can get from this portal. Okay, so meanwhile, let's go to next slide. For the installation configuration of this robot framework, what are the things or dependencies that we need to install? So the main thing is like, as I mentioned earlier, this robot framework is built on Python, right? So we need to install Python. Okay, the another thing is we need to install pip, that is for installing the dependency or the packages, right? So in the current scenario, like with the latest version of Python, there is an option for installing pip along with the Python. Okay, so during the installation process itself, we need to select a pip to install that along with the Python. Then the other thing is we need an IDE for writing the test cases, right? For that, we have either you can use RIDE or either you can use a Visual Studio or either you can use Pycharm. But here in this demo, I'm going to use a Pycharm as a IDE. And the other thing is we need to install Selenium, and the Selenium need to be installed using pip. Then we need to install Robot Framework. Again, that also need to be installed using pip, and we have to install the Robot Framework Selenium library. That also we can install using the pip. Okay, then once we install all these libraries in your machine, then what is next step? We have to install the plugin in the Pycharm. So which plugin we need to install? We need to install IntelliBoard Selenium library. Okay, and what is the purpose of this particular plugin? Like if you are writing a particular test case in your Pycharm IDE, the system has to understand, okay, you are writing a robot framework, and it should suggest us some keyword that will help or easy the process of writing the test cases, right? So for that purpose, we have to use the IntelliBoard Selenium library. For example, if you want to open a browser, there is a keyword called open browser, right? So if this plugin is installed, then only the IDE will suggest you, okay, we have a keyword like open browser, and even if you enter OP and click on control space, it will show you the suggestion like open browser. Okay, so it will help to ease the process of writing the test cases. Then what is the next step? We need to install Selenium Robot Framework and Robot Framework Selenium library in the Pycharm interpreter. Okay, so all these steps we need to do, and I will show you one by one how to do all these steps. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So this is an installation command. Okay, so we need to use these commands for installing the Selenium Robot Framework and Robot Framework Selenium library. Okay, and if pip is not installed, we have to use these command for installing the pip. So that's it. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so this is the robotframework.org portal. Okay, so here you can see the description provided for the robot framework. So we already covered all these things, and here you can see which are the companies, those who are using this robot framework. So Cisco is there, then Con is there, Nokia is there, then Juniper is there. Like this way, many companies are widely using this robot framework. And what are the installation strategies that you need to use, and how you can check whether the robot framework is properly installed in your machine. All these things can be verified using the commands that is provided in the install session. Okay. Now, if you want to learn something more about robot framework, it is providing the documents as well. Okay, so you can go to learn and you can go to all these documents for a better understanding. Okay, and here you can see it has provided a very simple test case. So how it has created the test suite and what are the different things that we need to set up. So all these things are available here in test suite.robot, and keyword.resource file is there, and custom library.py is there. Okay, so you can go through all these things, and let me scroll down. Okay, so as I mentioned, we can integrate variety of libraries and frameworks along with this robot framework, right? So here you can get the list of libraries that you can integrate with the robot framework. Okay, so if you click on more, you can see variety of libraries. So even you can integrate securely, you can integrate SSH library, or you can integrate database, Appium library. So all these things can be integrated along with the robot framework. Then building. So these are few of the tools and libraries that are bundled with the robot framework. Okay, so here you can see building is that provides a set of often needed generic keyword. So if you install this robot framework, all these things will get installed along with that, and it will provide the default keyword for you. Then tools means like if you want to develop something on the robot framework, you can use RideID or you can use Pabot or Red. All these things will support a robot framework. Okay, so I hope you are getting. You can go through this portal. I will be providing this link in the description. And if you have any pain point in your development, or if you're facing some issue along for this robot framework, you can go to this forum and you can raise your concern as well. Okay, so that's it about robot framework, and these are the few members of robot framework foundation. As I mentioned, robot framework is developed and managed by robot framework foundation, right? So these are very few members of this particular robot framework foundation. So let's move on to next slide. So what is the next first step that we need to do? We need to install Python in our machine. Okay, so in my machine, Python is already installed. Okay, Python has version. So here you can see Python is already installed. In your case, if Python is not installed, what you can do is you need to install the Python. So first check this, try with this command and see whether Python is installed or not. And you have to check whether pip is also installed. Pip -hyphen version. In my machine, pip is also installed. If it is not installed, then I will tell you what are the steps that you need to follow. Okay. So open the browser and searching Google like Python download, you will be getting few links. Just click on the first link. Okay, if you click on the first link, it will open up this portal. Then whatever the OS version that you have, based on that you need to select and you need to download the Python. Okay, so if I need to download this particular Python, just click on this. It will download the Python here. Okay, so let's wait for it. I will tell you how you need to install Python and how you need to install pip as well. Okay, so I'm just double clicking on this. Okay, as Python is already installed, it is asking for an upgrade option. So I'm going with a custom installation, and here you can see there is checkbox for installing pip. Okay, install pip which can download and install other Python packages. Okay, so the main purpose of pip is like it will help to download the other libraries or packages that will help for the automation. Okay, so you need pip to install other libraries. So I'm selecting this pip, then it will get installed along with your Python. Okay, then you can select Python test suite as well, then click on next. Then here the another important thing is add Python to environment variable. Okay, this is very important. Otherwise, if you are not selecting this option, you will have to add this Python path in the environment variable. Okay, so I am checkboxing this one as well, add Python to environment variable, then click on install. Okay, so if you do that, it will install Python along with pip, and it will add the Python path to the environment variable. Okay, so I'm just canceling the installation, and I will tell you, like, if you forgot to add the Python path to the environment variable, how you can do that. Okay, so you'll have to manually do that step. Then just search for environment, go to the edit tab, the system environment variable. Okay, then click on environment variable. Okay, so in my case, as I have selected add Python to environment variable, here you can see Python home is already created, right? So like this way, you have to provide the path of the Python, okay, in your machine. Okay, so if it is not added, you can click on new and added the home here. Okay, and the path of the Python. Okay, so that's it. That's how you need to add the Python path to the environment variable. So what is the next step? We need to install Pycharm, right? So these two things completed, right? The first install Python is completed, install pip is completed. So the next step is install Pycharm ID. For that, what you have to do is go to Google and search for Pycharm download. You will get the first link, okay, jetbrains.com. Click on that. It will open up this particular portal. Okay, so actually this Pycharm is providing a professional version as well as community version. Okay, so this community version will be free to use, and professional will be having a license cost, and it is also providing me 30 days free trial license. Okay, so I'm going with the community version, and based on your OS you have to choose the particular ID. Okay, so I'm using Windows machine, so I'm going to click on download button. Okay, so if you click on download, it will download the Pycharm community.exe in your machine. Okay, so let's wait for some time to get it installed. So meanwhile, what I'm going to do is let us install the other things that is required. Okay, so what is we have to install Selenium, we have to install Robotframework, and we have to install Robotframework Selenium library. So first, what I have to do is let me search for robot. Okay, I'm going to check whether Robotframework is already installed in my machine. So for that, you can type this command robot --version. So this is not installed in my machine, right? So that's why it's showing like robot is not recognized as an internal or external command. Okay, so I'm going to install Selenium Robotframework and Robotframework Selenium library in my machine. So what are the commands? You can use these commands for doing that. Okay, so first, if pip is not installed along with your Python, you need to use this command for doing the pip installation. As pip is already there in my machine, I'm just skipping this part. Okay. Okay, so what is the next step? We need to install Selenium. Pip install Selenium. Okay, pip install Selenium. Okay, so it is installing the Selenium. So let it complete the installation part. Yeah, so here you can see successfully installed Selenium 4.8.2. So what is the next step? This is completed. What's next? We have to install Robotframework, right? For that, what is the command? Install robot framework. Click on enter. Then it will install robot framework in your machine. Okay, so here you can see successfully installed robot framework 6.0.2. Okay, then what's the next step? I need to install robot framework Selenium library. So what is the command? Install robot framework hyphen Selenium library, right? Selenium library. Click on enter. Okay, so here you can see it has successfully installed robot framework Selenium library. So we have completed all these steps, right? Completed. This one also completed. This one also completed, right? So what are the next step? We need to install Pycharm, right? So we have already installed, downloaded Pycharm in the machine. So let me go here. Here you can see downloading is already completed. So let's click on Pycharm community.exe. Okay, click on yes. Click on next. Click on next. Okay, so I'm just creating a community edition shortcut in my desktop. Click on next. Click on install. Okay, so that's it. Then it will install Python community edition in your machine. So this ID is totally based on like which ID you want to use. Okay, you can either go with the right ID or you can go with Python, or if you need to go with some other ID, you can do that. Okay. Okay, so once Python got installed, what is the next step we have to do? Then we have to install the plugin IntelliBot Selenium library in Python. Okay, so the purpose of this plugin is nothing but like the Python IDE should understand you are going to write a robot framework based test case, right? So if you are installing this particular plugin, it will give you some suggestion. Okay, so if you are entering some keyword or some word itself, it will show you the particular keyword that is already there as part of the robot framework library. So let it complete the installation and I will show you how it is using and what are the challenges while installing this plugin and how you can rectify that. Okay, so I'm just selecting run Pycharm community. Okay, don't import settings. Click on OK. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project. Okay, so if you have an existing project, you can click on open, or if you have something in the version controller, you can get it from VCS as well. So I'm going to click on new project. Okay, so the location I'm going to create inside this particular folder. Okay, so I'm going to give it like a robot framework demo. Okay, so that's it. And interpreter, I'm going to choose the interpreter that is there in my machine. Okay, so system interpreter. So this is a path of the Python that is installed in my machine. So I'm going to select this particular one. Okay. Okay, so that's it. That's the thing that you have to do. Then click on create. Okay, so here you can see the project is created and there is a main.py file. And if you expand this extended library, you can see the variety of libraries is already installed in the machine. Okay, but that is totally based on the Python libraries. So now what is the next step we have to do? So we have to install IntelliBot Selenium library. Right? So this part is completed. Okay, so what is the next one? We need to install plugin IntelliBot Selenium library. For that, what you have to do is go to File. Okay, go to Settings. Okay, so here you can see plugins, right? So just click on plugin, go to Marketplace, search for IntelliBot. Okay, so here you can get a variety of IntelliBot, and this is the updated one, like IntelliBot at Selenium library Pycharm. So I'm going to install this one, but for me, I'm getting an error while installing this particular plugin, and I will show you, like if you are getting the similar error, how you can rectify that error as well. Okay, so click on install, accept. Okay, it is asking for restarting the ID. Okay, so I'm just going to restart the ID. Exit. Okay, so it will restart the Pycharm ID. So it is restarting, and here at the bottom you can see an error is coming, right? So what is the error? Is the particular plugin is used to get this particular PSI manager implementation something. Okay, so as per my understanding, this error is coming as part of the version issue. Okay, this particular IntelliBot plugin is not compatible with the framework that we have installed. As per my understanding, that there is an error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to settings. Okay, go to plugin, install. Okay, and I'm going to uninstall this particular plugin. Click on yes, restart IDE. Okay, so these are the steps for resolving the issue and to install the IntelliBot in your machine. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do is go to this particular location. Okay, https github.com lt2000 IntelliBot. Okay, so if you go to this particular URL, you can get the IntelliBot.jar file. Okay, so what you can do, just download the zip file. Okay, just go to the folder. Okay, so IntelliBot master 2. I'm going to extract it. Okay, so inside this you can see the IntelliBot.jar file, right? So I'm just copying this path. Go to Pycharm, go to file, go to settings. Okay, go to plugin, and I'm going to click on the settings button. Okay, just click on setting button, click on install plugin from disk. Okay, I'm going to choose particular path. Okay, from here I need to choose IntelliBot.jar. Okay, then click on OK. Okay, then I'm going to install restart IDE, restart it. Okay, so now you can see the project has opened and the IDE is opened without any error. Okay, so this is how you can resolve this error if you are getting any error while installing the IntelliBot plugin in your machine. Okay, so that part is also completed. Yeah, so this is also completed. So what is the next step? We have to install Selenium Robot Framework and Robot Framework Selenium library in the Python interpreter, right? So for that, what you have to do is go to file, okay, go to file, go to settings. Okay, so just expand this project or robot framework demo. So this is my project name. I'm going to expand this and click on Python interpreter. Okay, so in my machine, this robot framework Selenium and the Selenium robot framework Selenium library package is already installed. Okay, in this interpreter. If it is not installed, what you have to do is just click on this plus button. Okay, you have to type Selenium. Okay, then select that and you need to click on install package. Okay, same like that for other packages also. Robot framework. Okay, you need to click on that particular robot framework and you need to click on install package. Okay, so I hope you are getting. So if it is not already installed, you have to do this step for installing the packages in the Python interpreter. Okay, so I'm just clicking on OK. So now you can see we have created the project and we have completed the basic installation and configuration of all the packages, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can create a robot file. So as we all know, the extension of a robot file is .robot. Okay, so I'm not going to deep dive into this robot framework and how you can write the test case and all. But I'm going to just show you like how this plugin and the libraries that you have installed is going to help you in your test case writing. Okay, the other topics we can deep dive in the next video. So now I'm going to just create a robot file. For that, I'm just right clicking on my project, click on new, click on file. Okay, so I'm just going to name it like a test case 1. So you have to give the extension like .robot. Okay, Okay, so we have created the test case one dot robot file. So let us understand how these plugins that we have added up are going to help you in creating the test cases. Okay, and what is the proper syntax and what are the different keywords or tags that are available in the robot framework. Okay, so we are not going to deep dive and creating the complex test cases. I'm just going to show you like how these plugins are going to help you and what are the very easy keywords that are going to help you in creating the robot framework. So what I'm going to do is just click on control and space, and here you can see it is listing down few tags, right? Like keywords, settings, task, test cases, variables, and all. So keyword is nothing but like same like creating the method. Like if there is some reusable component and you want to reuse in different test cases, you can create a keyword for that. And settings is nothing but like if you have to do some settings like maybe declaration of a driver or maybe importing of libraries. All these things can be done in the settings form. And task is like if you need to add some particular task to the test cases, you can use this task tag. Then test case is nothing but it's like if you are writing different keyword and you want to call this keywords to make it a test flow. There you can use a test case tag. And variable is nothing but like instead of hard coding this elements or some values like URL and all, you can create a variable and you can use those values in the keyword or in test cases. Okay, so these are few tags. So let me show you a very simple thing. Okay, so I'm going to use settings and I'm going to import a library. I'm going to use Selenium library. Okay, then I'm going to use keyword. So just consider if you're going to do a web-based automation, what is the first step that you have to do? You need to open up the browser, right? So if you search for OP itself, it is showing some suggestion like open browser. So this is a keyword that is provided by Robot Framework to open the browser. Okay, so instead of writing the command like driver.get URL and providing the URL, some meaningful keywords are there like open browser. Okay, so using this open browser, it can open up the browser window. So here you can provide the URL. Okay, and here you have to declare a Chrome. But this Chrome declaration you have to do somewhere outside, and based on that, it will open up the URL in the Chrome driver. Okay, so this is how it will work. And if you don't want to hard code this value, what you can do is you can use the variable tag, and inside that you can declare the variable. So let me create a variable. I'm going to use it like a URL. Okay, and inside this I can provide the URL, and I can use this URL inside the keyword. Okay, so this is just a general structure of the robot file, and this is how you need to write down your test cases. Okay, so we'll deep dive into all these things in the coming video, and you will get a better understanding about what are the different structure and what are the different components as part of your robot framework. Okay, so I hope you find this video useful and interesting. If this video is helpful for you in setting up the robot framework, please like the video, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. So thanks for watching the video. Bye.